All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, LinkedIn 101, Profile Optimization Essentials. This is the second monthly webinar hosted by Aspen's Alumni and Career Services. My name is Allie, and I'm your Alumni and Career Services Specialist. Along with these webinars, our department offers resources for job searching and career development. You can see upcoming events and learn more on our webpage shown at the bottom of this slide. This webinar is being recorded and it will be uploaded to Aspen's YouTube channel. Please be sure to keep your microphone muted during the presentation, and we'll have time for questions and comments at the end. Feel free to participate in the chat. You're welcome to submit any questions or comments that way throughout the presentation. We also encourage Aspen students and alumni to use these webinars as an opportunity to connect with each other. So if you're up for it, you are absolutely welcome to introduce yourself in the chat, maybe share your program of study, and even share the link to your LinkedIn profile if you'd like. Today's LinkedIn 101 presentation is going to cover the basics. We'll touch each main section of the profile and talk about how to make it stand out, tips to increase visibility and attract recruiters, and practical advice for creating a professional presence. There's a lot to LinkedIn, and it's likely a topic we'll return to in the future. So if you have any requests for a more specific LinkedIn webinar topic you'd like to see, please put it in the chat. Same goes for any webinar topic you'd be interested in seeing. We would love to see your suggestions. To begin with, why should you be on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is very widely used. Its popularity is one of the biggest reasons to use it. As the leading platform for networking, it only makes sense to make use of its reach and connect with the vast number of people who are on it. As of last February, there are over 830 million members and 55 million companies on LinkedIn. 97% of professionals involved in hiring say they use LinkedIn, whether that's posting job openings on the platform or just searching the profiles of their candidates. Because it is so well known, I think it's likely that most everyone here has a profile already or has at least heard of LinkedIn, but let's do a quick overview even so. LinkedIn is a professional networking platform designed for career and business professionals to connect, share experiences, and build their personal brands. Launched in 2003, it's now one of the most popular social networks specifically for the business community. Here are some key aspects of LinkedIn. First and foremost, of course, networking. LinkedIn allows users to create connections with colleagues, industry professionals, recruiters, and businesses. Users can build a network of contacts that can help them advance their careers or explore new opportunities. And then there's a lot of job searching on LinkedIn. It's a powerful tool for job seekers. Users can search for jobs, follow companies they're interested in, and be recruited by employers. Many recruiters use LinkedIn as a primary platform to find and vet potential candidates. And your profile serves as an online resume. It includes sections for work experience, education, skills, certifications, and more. Profiles can be customized to highlight professional accomplishments, projects, and career goals. And also content sharing. Users can post updates, share articles, write posts, and engage with other professionals' content. This helps individuals build credibility and visibility in their industry, and it's a great way to stay informed about industry trends and developments. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is to fill out your profile thoroughly. This is the first tip because the most filled out profiles on LinkedIn come up first in a recruiter's search. You may be the country's leading professional in your field, but you might never be approached for it on LinkedIn if your profile isn't thoroughly filled out. While that's not the only factor that affects your place in a hiring manager search, window went away, and now it's back. It's not the only factor that affects your place in a search, but it is perhaps the most important one. Make sure to look at all the profile sections that LinkedIn lets you include and fill in as many of them as you can. In this webinar, we're going to go through how exactly to do that for each essential section. You'll also want to make sure your profile is public. Perhaps unlike other social media platforms, you do want to be seen on LinkedIn. To control your profile's visibility settings, click on the Me icon along the top of the page, and then View Profile, and then click on the Edit icon to the right of where it says Public Profile and URL. There, you can make sure that public visibility is toggled on, and you can also customize which sections are public if you want to. Another little trick is to edit the URL for your profile. Usually the default is pretty long with a lot of random characters, but you can change it to something much shorter, like your name. And that looks a lot cleaner if you want to share your LinkedIn URL or add it to your resume. Tip number 2 is to choose a good profile photo. It is important to have one. Members with a profile photo get up to 21 times more views. So what makes the right profile photo? You want to aim for professional but friendly. Here are some recommendations for how to get your profile picture right. A profile picture should accentuate your face, so try to make your face take up at least 50% of the space. You can crop a picture from the top of your shoulders to just above your head so that your face fills the frame. Profile picture should be recent, and this may sound obvious, but it should look like you. Try to avoid harsh lighting and filters. Use an image with high resolution. If the picture looks a bit blurry when you upload it, you may want to use a different one. Be the only person in the picture. It's always great to show that you're collaborative and that you love your team. But if you use a group photo as your profile picture, it may be unclear which person is you. I also advise against cropping a group photo down to your face, since you might see a disembodied hand or a shoulder popping into the frame, and a small crop could significantly reduce the resolution. You can still include a team picture on your LinkedIn profile. A good place to put one would be the banner image. You want to use a photo with the right facial expression. So your profile picture is an opportunity to convey your personal brand. So if you consider your brand to be a little more serious, it's okay to look serious in your picture. But generally speaking, smiling can help you look more approachable. One study of 800 profile pictures found that people view you as more likable, competent, and influential if you smile in your picture. And smiles that showed teeth were rated twice as likable as closed-mouth smiles. As far as clothing goes, you can wear what you'd wear to work. If you wear jeans and a button-down most days, or scrubs, for example, it's okay to wear that outfit in your picture. Likewise, if you wear a suit. If you work from home most days, try wearing clothes that match the dressiness of your company as a whole. And another thing to note is that solid colors tend to do best on camera. Color blocking your outfit using bold tones can help draw the eye to your profile. Tip number 3 is to take care in crafting a compelling headline. Your headline is super important since it's the first thing people see when looking at your profile. It's also a way to convince people to read the rest of your profile. It should convey who you are and what you're about in a clear and concise way. A good headline ensures you get found by recruiters for relevant positions, since a lot of them only search by job title. Including profession-specific skills is also good as long as they're relevant and not too long. Make sure your headline contains a keyword that can be used to easily find you and pinpoint exactly what you do. For example, if you're a software developer, but you work mostly with Java, it's best to put Java developer as your title instead of software engineer. And this third bullet point here is a basic formula to follow to help create an effective headline. It's very common to use that vertical bar character to separate each element. So first, include your current role or profession. Use the exact title that you hold at your current company. Include your level of experience, like senior, manager, or director. If your current job title is not perfectly aligned with your career goals, you can tweak it slightly to better fit your aspirations. Just don't be misleading. And second, you can list your primary skills or an area of expertise. A lot of companies now prioritize skill-based hiring, so you'll want to include any standout skills or certifications in your headline. To choose skills for your headline, you can look at job listings to find the most in-demand skills, then pick the ones that you excel in and that match your career goals and use it in your headline. Third thing in that formula is that you can highlight a unique value. This is what makes you stand out from everyone else in your field. It could be specialized expertise, innovative problem-solving skills, or any other trait that makes you valuable to employers. And the fourth and fifth elements here are optional. If you'd like, you can also include a notable achievement and a personal passion or goal. So if possible, try to make your achievement measurable. A measurable accomplishment uses numbers to show the impact that you've had, and tangible results are a powerful way to boost your credibility. And you can make your LinkedIn headline more personal by adding a passion or a career goal. And this highlights your enthusiasm and helps you connect with others who share your interests and values. And then we have a couple of examples here for a sales director headline and a marketing manager headline. Tip number 4 is to write a summary that stands out. Your LinkedIn summary is the first thing a recruiter reads after the headline, so it's important to get it right. A good LinkedIn summary section includes your years of experience in your current field, a list of your most relevant skills. This is usually going to be the hard skills, so the tools you've used, programming frameworks, things like that. Your current job title, what you've excelled at, any relevant accomplishments, and what you're passionate about, what kind of role you're looking for if you're openly looking for a new job. And then we do have some do's and don'ts for the summary section here. You want to make it between 3 and 5 paragraphs. One sentence is too short and doesn't take advantage of the space, but it doesn't need to be a novel either. You do want to use structured paragraphs and bullet points when appropriate, and make sure to mention it if you have management experience. Use numbers whenever you can. Tip number 5 is to optimize your experience section. Arguably, your experience section is the most important part of your LinkedIn profile. That is probably sounding really familiar by this point. You might be seeing a pattern. For each position you've held, you want to make sure to add your specific job title, link to your employer's company page on LinkedIn, and write a description that includes your responsibilities and accomplishments. This is essentially the same as the experience section on a resume, and you'll want to use numbers wherever you can. You may have seen this formula here. It's credited to Laszlo Bock, who worked as the Senior Vice President of People Operations at Google. And it's a straightforward and eye-catching way to frame your achievements. So the formula: accomplish X as measured by Y by doing Z, where X stands for the achievement or task, Y represents a measurable outcome or the impact of your action, and Z details how you achieved it, the method or approach that you used. So you can start with handled customer service inquiries, run it through this formula, and end up with resolved an average of 50 customer inquiries per day, achieving a 95% customer satisfaction rate by utilizing advanced conflict resolution techniques and personalizing customer interactions. Sounds a bit more impressive. Tip number 6 is to use keywords effectively. If you want your profile to be discovered by recruiters on LinkedIn, you need to include the right keywords in all sections of your profile: headline, summary, work experience, and the skills section. This tells the LinkedIn algorithm that your profile is very relevant to the specific keywords used. A really good way to find the right keywords is to find a job ad that is close to the ideal job you want, see what keywords are used and the required skills and experience, and choose the ones that accurately describe you and use them in your profile. This word cloud here was made by using a job ad for a Vice President of Finance and Administrative Services position at a community college. So tip number 7 is to show off. Do you have any cool projects you've worked on? Have you organized any events, written any articles or books or blogs? Do you have your own website? You can show them off in your LinkedIn profile. This is especially helpful if you don't have a lot of work experience. For example, if you're a recent graduate who's newly entering the workforce, you can share projects that you created during school. Or on the other side of things, if you're a DNP student with plenty of work experience, if you've written a dissertation, that can be included too. You can add links, photos, videos, documents, all of those things to enhance the featured section. You can also use multimedia in the work experience entries too, and doing so will make your profile stand out. And tip number 8 is don't forget your licenses and certifications. If you have any that are relevant for your current role or your desired position, you should include them on your LinkedIn profile. And there's a specific section for it. Go to your profile, click Add Profile section, and pick Licenses and Certifications. And this includes languages. Whether you use it in your job or not, knowing multiple languages is always a plus. Tip number 9 is to maximize your skills section. The skills and endorsements section is also an important part of your LinkedIn profile. There is no need to be conservative here. LinkedIn gives you a limit of 50 skills you can add, so why not add all 50? Add every skill you possess, as well as any synonyms. So if your skill is digital marketing, you can also add content creation, online advertising. In case you have more than 50 skills to list, make sure to stick to the most relevant ones. And if you can't think of 50, just add whatever you can, and LinkedIn will recommend similar ones. Once you're done with that, you can solicit all of your connections for endorsements, contact your coworkers and ex-colleagues who are on LinkedIn and ask them to endorse your skills. You can offer to endorse theirs in return. And this is important because endorsements are social proof. They're not going to make or break your chance of getting hired, but they are going to make you a more presentable candidate. Tip number 10 is to get some recommendations. Think of all the people in your professional crowd you're close to and have had positive interactions with. Contact them and ask them for a recommendation on your LinkedIn profile. Similar to the endorsements, recommendations are going to add social proof to your profile, and they show that your coworkers and peers think highly of your skills. The most meaningful recommendations you can get are going to be from your direct management. If you've had a good relationship with a boss, be sure to ask them. And then second best will be from clients or customers you've worked with, someone who was really happy with the work you did for them. And then also you can ask your coworkers to leave your recommendation too, especially if you've worked directly together in a team. Their opinion will hold value thanks to the time you spent working together. So we have a few more here. Additional tips are to make sure you're writing in first person. It sounds much more personal and sincere. Use numbers in any place you can. This will emphasize your accomplishments and show the scale that you've worked at. You can add interests to show your personality. Be very careful to eliminate typos and errors to demonstrate professionalism and attention to detail. Be sure to add your education, add the schools you've gone to, and connect to the school's official page. This is a great way to find connections with fellow students and alumni. Don't guess when it comes to the name of your degree program. I know some of those program names are really long, so look yours up if you have to, in order to list it correctly. And engage and stay active. Once everything's filled out, it doesn't take much to maintain it, but a profile that has not been updated in a while can cause a negative impression. While it's especially important to keep your current job up to date, little things can count too. If you gain a new skill or have a new accomplishment, get it on there. Fresh keywords are a great way to update a profile too. So even if you've been in your position for a while, You can look up a job ad for something similar and use some of those keywords. Finally, remember that LinkedIn is a professional networking platform, meaning it's okay to add people who you haven't met in real life. That's the whole reason it exists. Feel free to add recruiters, HR specialists, and hiring managers in companies you want to work for to your network. This way, you'll always be updated with open positions that they might have, and you'll pop up on top of all other candidates when these recruiters do a search for someone with your skill set. Keep in mind, though, when adding connections on LinkedIn, it's courteous to send a connection request with a message, and we've got an example of what a good connection message could look like. Hello, I'm currently on the lookout for a new job and I'm expanding my network with professionals in the HR field, such as yourself. I would be excited to discuss any opportunities at any point. Some sources that I've used here, and then I just want to say thank you very much. If you do have any questions or comments or requests for future topics, please let us know. You can feel welcome to go off mute, and I am going to stop sharing my screen in a moment. All right. Just checking in the chat, will we be able to access the recording for reference after this meeting? Absolutely, yes. We'll be uploading this to YouTube, and I'll also email it out to everyone who registered. Does anyone have any questions or want to share their LinkedIn URL to connect with each other in the chat? No pressure at all. All right. Thank you so much for attending. Check our website for the next webinar and any upcoming ones. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.